Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, it was actually kind of a slow news day today. Might be a slow news weekend this weekend. I'll likely put something up on the community page asking for topics to read on. Unless something explosive happens, a 3-day weekend, it might be a bit hard to find things to read on. But we'll have the trial, we'll have the jury next week on the Trump trial. That'll take up some airspace, and there's that Six of Swords. Somebody's going away. And then we've also got the Steve Bannon case coming up here too. I want to throw on Joe Biden. It's been a little while since I've thrown on him. I want to look at the energy around Joe Biden right now and know how things are looking for the election coming up in November. Now, it's obviously, we've got 5.5 months before that happens. Anything can change. Right now, I'm of the opinion that Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to crush in this election cycle. Let's see if the cards hold up with that as well. Okay? Energy around Joe Biden. Entertainment purposes only. Come on down. Let's see what we got. Currently around Joe Biden, we've got a bunch of disappointment. I don't know if that's with the polls. The economy's doing well, so that's good. And, he's got debates lined up with Trump, so that's good. So, he's got some good things going with him. But, inflation's starting to go up again. Gas prices especially, because of things that Ukraine have done to attack Russian refineries. The border bill is still a thorn in his side, and he's not been able to get any resolution in Congress with the border bill. And, what's the last one? He's got funding. Probably, just Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. Oh, no, it's going to be the Israel-Palestine war. And nothing he seems to do is making headway with protest voters. So he's got some things working well for him. He's got things he needs to work on. It's kind of a mixed bag. That's where his energy is right now. And how do I get these cups upright so that I can progress forward here? Cross with the Eight of Swords. Some of the things that he's dealing with are out of his hands. Not that he's a victim to it, but, there's the Israel-Palestine situation is a very complex, complicated situation, and Israel is making it way more complex and complicated than it need be. Why is that happening? Because the government in there is a far-right government. And this is what you see in Israel right now is what the United States would be with Trump and his cronies getting back in again. That is exactly what we are going to devolve into, is something like that. Southern border, he's kind of at a loss. There's a compromise deal. The Senate's passed it through. The Republicans aren't interested in passing it, so he can't get that taken care of either. Inflation, there's only so much the president can do about inflation. Gas prices going up, that's out of his hands. The U.S. is producing more oil, I think, historically than it ever has before. But you're kind of stuck with these things. Underneath it all, though, is the Sun card. I think what this is saying is that he's understanding this, and maybe as the summer rolls on, these issues are going to start working themselves out, and he'll be free of this situation. The Sun card is a great card to have underneath here. In the past, you got the Page of Pentacles. It's not about fundraising. I think this is about the youth and their ideals and trying to reach out to activate the millennials, the Gen Zers, and such to get them out to vote. They got him in office. The young people saved our bacons in 2020. They didn't come out as much in 2022, which we are now dealing with the consequences. He needs to make sure that young people come out and vote in 2024. The Republicans are doing what they can to help that. Taking away, I'll be a broken record here, taking away women's rights is a great way to activate young people, because they're going to look at this and they're just going to shake their head and say that they don't want this, because they have mothers, they have sisters, they have girlfriends, they have cousins that are all impacted by this. And then don't even get started on the LGBTQ community and how they're being vilified. So the young people have stakes in this upcoming election, and he needs to make sure that they get out and vote. I can't seem to avoid these cards here. They came up in my last reading that I just did on the border here. Current situation is planning, mapping, strategizing what they're going to do with their campaign to activate young people and address these core issues that are the big three issues that he has to deal with for this upcoming election. He's not sitting idly. There are plans going forward here. Again, this card's looking really familiar. The overarching energy is the Five of Swords. This is it. Just like 2020 was the most important election ever, 2024 is the most important election ever. 2020 got us away from the chasm, from falling into the chasm of a dictatorship and authoritarian government. 2024 is the affirmation that we do not want to fall into that canyon, into that chasm, and crash down on the rocks below. You've got to leave it all on the table at this point. There's no compromise. Donald Trump and the Republicans with their 2025 plan, they've laid it out what this election is about. This is about democracy and keeping our democracy. I'm not trying to scare you. This is what it's about. It seems more people are waking up to this fact. I don't think it's enough. We need to keep hammering on this, guys. We will get through this, but we are in the throes of it right now, and he's recognizing it. His energy understands it. The lesson to be learned: we are at a crossroads in history. We have our choices. Now, from a spiritual thing, we'll talk about the 3D and the 5D worlds and things along those lines. But for the United States, it's a battle for the soul of the country. And Joe Biden is battling for the soul of this country in maintaining it as a democracy. It's all on this election. He did not choose a minor part in this lifetime. He chose a major role. Outcome is the King of Wands. He's the man for the job. Love him or hate him or whatever, Joe Biden is the only person who is going to get this done at this time. We had him just like Barack Obama was the right person in 2008. Joe Biden was the right person in 2020. Joe Biden is the right person in 2024. For whatever reason, all these other guys fall to Trump. Joe Biden is the one guy who can beat Trump. He is the paper to Trump's rock. Everybody else seems to be a pair of scissors. And that includes Republicans, too. Trump has won basically 3 Republican primaries. 2 were highly contested. 1, not so much. 2020 was not contested because he was the incumbent. He beat Hillary. He lost to Biden. And he gets to face Biden again. And he's going to lose to Biden again. Spoiler alert. Okay. What does Joe Biden feel he needs to do in order to really seal up his chances of winning this election? What does Joe Biden feel like he needs to do on this? The death card. No, not dying. I think he understands it's going to be the end of the old way of doing things. He's got to bring the divisiveness that we're facing to an end, but with this current Congress, you can no longer compromise with them. It really is, in a way, it's a fight to the death, just like we're going on that last reading here. This is it. This is it. Maybe it's just to convey to people that we don't want kings. We don't want rulers. We don't want a theocracy. Be concerned about your kids and give your kids a bright future. That crossed with the Four of Cups. Now, usually I read the Four of Cups as choices that you don't want. But I think what this is more give people choices. Show them that there is a choice, that we're not resigned to this fate. We have choices that we can make. Sitting here on this island under this tree, pouting is not an option. So when I was asking what does he think he needs to do to win this election, he needs people to get out and vote. Have some hope. Vote your conscience. Vote your ideals. Get out and vote. There are more Democrats than Republicans. There are more people that want a democracy than a dictatorship. So get out and do something about it. Do your civic duty. You voted in 2016. You voted in 2020. You voted in 2022. Get out and vote in 2024. You've got to. You owe it to the country, to yourself, to your family to do this. Underneath is the Knight of Swords, activating people. Get them riled up. Let's go. You cannot get complacent here. You've got to get on your sword and on your horse and ride. Charge forward. You can do this. No, don't be scared of death. Charge right into its teeth and knock death for a loop. In the past, we got the Three of Swords, the disappointment, the betrayal. What's been happening, and you get your three branches of government, and they've been corrupted and polluted. Who would have thought that the Supreme Court, of all things, the Supreme Court would be in the condition it is today? Our court systems really are the backbone of this country. Our elections are the backbone of this country. If you lose faith in the courts, if you lose faith in your elections, you can't have a functioning democracy. What have the Republicans been doing? They've corrupted the Supreme Court. They've challenged the veracity and the integrity of our elections. And they're trying to undermine democracy. This needs to change. Biden understands what we're up against here. That needs to come to an end too. Current situation is the Ten of Coins. This is going to be Biden's legacy. He wanted to be like FDR. He got some things through with basically a functioning tie in the Senate, and he only had the House for a little bit. His legacy's on this. But this is also about the wealthy and the elites running and calling the shots on things. He's got the money Trump doesn't right now. So he has that advantage. But the status quo with the wealthy telling folks what to do, that's going to have to change. Wealthy people need to pull their weight too. Reaganomics didn't work. But, there's a lot going on with the current situation in here. The overarching energy is the World card. This is it. Again, this is for all the marbles. The Democrats have to pull this out in 2024. It's funny. I've lost I've lost the narrative of the question. This happens to me. I believe I asked, what does Biden think he needs to do to win this election? And I'm so into the reading now that I don't even know if I'm answering this. It's just I'm reading it as they come out, and I sort of channel when I do that. I'm rambling. It happens. I just want to share with you that I get into that zone, And I'll forget the question that I asked. Overarching energy again. This is for all the marbles. Biden understands this. This is his last time he'll be running, unless presidents are kings, of course. In which case, then he can keep running forever and ever and ever because he's a king and he doesn't have to leave. But that's not the way it really works here. He needs to wrap this up. This is his time. This is kind of like, I want to say, the last big thing he does, but this is one of those major points in his life. You can think of it as, they talk about like checkpoints that you hit in your life. I think this is kind of that karmic thing. The Wheel of Fortune is the card of karma, which is, you hitting your things. But this election is like that last big thing that he needs to do, that last checkpoint in his life. He could have been a one-term president. If the Republicans, weren't putting up Trump again, he may not have run. Maybe he would have. Maybe he wouldn't have. But he's the one person that can beat Trump. He's the paper to Trump's rock. And the way free will happened, the Republicans put up Trump. So here comes paper. Lesson to be learned is the star card. Biden has the faith that he's going to win. Biden has the faith that he's going to be able to navigate the United States through the storm of this election, and we're going to come out so much better for it. He's the right person at the right time for this role. The outcome is the moon card. It's still not decided. Not everything, all the chess pieces are not on the board. There's still stuff coming down the pike that will radically change things as this comes through, as the election progresses here. I don't think I answered the question of what he thinks he needs to do for it. I got something different. It happens. Sorry. Okay. How does the energy stand right now for his November? How's Biden feeling after the election? Maybe we'll throw a little four-carder on that one. How is Biden feeling after the election? I haven't gotten the Ace of Cups yet. That kind of flipped up when I was throwing cards here. How is Biden feeling after the election in November? Knight of Pentacles. Moving forward with values. Mercenary. I think moving forward, advancing your values. High Priestess. Nostalgia. Six of Cups. The Tower. The Sun card. The Sun card is a friend of Democrats and an enemy of Republicans, and that's what's underneath all of this. How's he feeling in November? What I've gotten before is that he's exhausted. Pentacles are about wealth or health. I think he's tired. He's moved through this and he's tired, but I also think that in the end of the day, his values are what are. He's got his values on his mind, and this is not the naivety. This is nostalgia. I think he's given another chance to put his values into place. As I was mentioning, right person, right time. The High Priestess. Ask the questions, get the answers. I think this could very well be that Americans give him a mandate, and it's time for Joe Biden's compassion to really shine through and really allow him his values. Now, the Tower card is going to be the sudden endings of things. I think the election will be a landslide. And I don't think it's a landslide against Biden. And I think there's going to be no lightning's going to strike twice. There's going to be all this rigmarole about stolen elections and stuff like that. But underneath it is the Sun card, truth. The truth will be revealed, and that's going to take care of this, and that's going to take care of this. In the end of the day, I'm still seeing Biden getting through. He might be tired. He's 80 something years old. He's going to get through, folks. But we have to do our part and vote. And we need to get like-minded people out to vote. That's really it. Nobody's going to save us. Supreme Court's not going to save us. The court system's not going to save us. We can't count on our leaders to save us. We can't count. There's no white knights in the form of Robert Mueller or any special counsel to save us. Jack Smith's not going to save us. Anytime we've had somebody that looks like it's a white knight, they're blocked, stymied. And at the end of the day, this is a choice for Americans to make to decide the soul of the country. Now, I heard somebody say this, and bear it out. It's not to alarm you, but if the Republicans win, then that's kind of what we deserve as a country. Enough people have spoken, and that's what they want. That's what we deserve. We're no better than that. But you and I both know we're better than that. So let's go demonstrate just how much better we are than that. Okay? We're going to get through this. Promise, 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 promise. We will get through this. And we will come out on our feet, not laid out. Anyways, I'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your kind words, your thoughts, comments, everything you do, the shares. That feeds the YouTube algorithm, so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To people discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.